So I get asked this question a lot. What is the difference between level one and level two? And also, why should I do level two in Secret Sunrise training? I will just unpack this a little bit because there will be official communications coming your way, but I feel like just talking into it for a moment. So essentially, training has shifted from like a linear progression, having to do level one, having to do level two, to do level three, to do training, into what we call the journey of the sun. The journey of the sun looks like this. Just call it, we write journey to the sun. The journey to the sun used to be an exploration of a linear journey through level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you reach the shiny sun at the top. But the training committee has decided on a way forward with the shareholders that is more like an actual sunshine. So where do we begin our journey? We begin it at level 1, which is the foundations course, which many of you have done because you're looking at this in the group. Then we have another phase, which is level 2. Then we have another phase, which is level 3. And then we have the center over here, which is teacher training. So many people ask me, what is the difference between this one and this one? And what do you do at this one? So we're still undoing the language of calling these levels because they're not levels anymore, because these days you can go from level 1 straight to being a teacher if you like. And I'll explain this to you in 1 second. Level 1 is foundations. It's the first time that you're being introduced to Secret Sunrise, and you've got a lot to learn about groovy, spirit, horsepower, how the joy recipe fits together, and you overcome yourself in order to facilitate. This is why level 1 is a foundations course, and it's now called Unleash Yourself. Now, the major difference between level 1 and level 2 is this. Level 2 is about unleashing others. It's a leadership. So level 1 is foundations. You learn only the very basics. And people go through such a big transformation that they question the value of level 2. So level 2 is about unleashing others, where level 1 is about unleashing yourself, overcoming your blocks. Level 2 is about identifying the blocks in others. So therefore you need to learn the building blocks of joy. There's 7 or 8 building blocks of joy that Secret Sunrise outlines. And then there's also blocks to joy. So once you understand like the 4 or 5 blocks to joy, what stops joy, and you understand the 5 to 8 building blocks, not the same blocks, you see what I'm getting at? Then you can begin to identify in others what is holding them back from joy, and then you can begin to serve them in their joy journey, in their journey to joy. Therefore, you will become a very effective leader of a team, your immediate team, because you will help the entire team to get to joy, so other facilitators with you. You will also be able to see either your students as a teacher or participants in the dance, and you'll be able to lead them to joy because you can see where there's a block and you can navigate that very skillfully with the tools that you're equipped with. This will allow you to be very good in the corporate space, where corporates can be quite rigid and stiff, in the private space, in a lot of different spaces. There's lots of tools and methodology to support this. Not only is the theory very different, but the practical of level 2 is totally different to level 1. Those level 2s who have experienced it in the past, like in the Drakensberg, they're immediately put into the leadership position. And as we've grown in Secret Sunrise, we've got more and more and more tools and more like things that have helped us along in our own journey to joy, which we've transformed with a Secret Sunrise lens. So I hope that makes the distinction between level 2 and level 1 clearer. I mean, as soon as you see the manual, they're just completely different things. You don't learn about the wave or the joy recipe in level 2 because you know it. We can spend days and days doing that. I'll touch briefly on level 3 because it's a whole nother ball game. And the practical in level 3 is some of the most beautiful dancing that you will ever do in the terms of how much freedom you'll begin to explore, because you will then be a more experienced facilitator. But level 3, essentially what it allows you to do now in Secret Sunrise is it allows you to begin to develop your own training within Secret Sunrise. So now we can have Secret Sunrise Outreach, Secret Sunrise, which exists, Secret Sunrise Corporate, Secret Sunrise disability, Secret Sunrise township dancing, Secret Sunrise water dancing, because you will learn the wave of Secret Sunrise, our joy recipe, through the lens of what is happening in your mind, what is happening in your body, what is happening in your heart. We touch on those little bit by bit by bit, but there's some key milestones. And for anybody who's done level 3, you'll see they're miles apart in terms of facilitating. It's because they've understood what Nikki calls the smile stones, which we've laid out as like 8 different steps in level 3 for teaching the dance. It's very difficult to give you guys like the in-depth and transformative work of Secret Sunrise, because it is the joy teacher and it is the joy healer. But I hope mainly from today's conversation we've had an understanding of what the difference mainly between level 1 and level 2 is. The foundations: unleash yourself versus leading others to joy, which is unleashing others. And then you in level 3 become fully unleashed, because you learn the deep secret of the joy recipe, and it allows you to kind of put into the world your own version of Secret Sunrise, because you understand the value so well, and you can put your own training modules together. And this then all sets us up to be teachers of Secret Sunrise. Again, it's just important for you to know that now you don't have to do level 1, level 2, level 3. These are not now phases. Our language will begin changing to phase 1, foundations phase, phase 2, leadership phase, phase 3, fully unleashed phase, and then teaching phase. Okay, because you can't jump from level 1, phase 1 to teaching. There's some prerequisites. You would have had to have done 50 dances, but you don't have to do more training to teach a level 1. And then there's boosts to teach level 2, level 3, level 4. I don't want to jump into that other stuff now, but I hope that it's just giving you a little bit of taste. If you need more understanding, please just reach out to me and ask me if you're interested. We are teaching this in Bali in November. There will be level 3, level 2, and level 1 being taught in Bali. I will be there teaching level 3 and level 2. I'm doing a teacher training course, as I said before, in November, in September. And then the beauty of all of the training and all the work that the training committee has been doing is that once you're licensed as a teacher, you can begin hosting your own retreats wherever you like in the world, however you like, at the price that you feel like you need to be holding these retreats. It's critical because we've heard the movement. We've heard the movement say, some of these retreats are too expensive. Yes, that's what some people want to go to a really beautiful retreat center in Portugal, in Bali, in London, wherever. And some people just want to get raw, down, dirty, straight into the joy work. When you become a teacher, you can choose your own pricing model for that. We obviously have recommended global standards, but this is totally up to you. There are so many questions around the magic of Secret Sunrise. As we, as Secret Sunrise, are beginning to understand it more and more and more. The teachings have become so much deeper and even more profound, and I'm very excited to share them with you. And if you've watched all of this today, then you're obviously interested. Please feel free to ask me questions, because I want to answer your questions and I want to be with you and facilitate your process to more joy in this world.